and counting. The guidance system will go in.
Hi friends, welcome to Studio Classroom Worldwide. Thanks for joining us. My name is Steve. We are often told to increase our chances for success in life, we should make a good first impression and put our best foot forward. That's not a bad idea, but how do we do it? Well, it's easy actually. We do it with manners. Developing good manners can and will influence just about every part of your life. They'll influence your grades in school. They'll get you closer to that promotion at work, and they'll positively affect your relationship with other people. Okay, let's jump into our lesson and learn more about these things called manners on page 37.
Polishing your manners can improve relationships. It never hurts to be polite at home and in public. Did you know that most tension in any relationship is caused by someone using a negative tone of voice? And in most instances, a tense conversation can cause friction with your in-laws or co-workers indefinitely. Good manners work magic in a different way. Behaving nicely includes speaking thoughtfully and using a pleasing voice tone that denotes respect. Married people especially know how hurtful behavior erodes a relationship. For example, can you identify with the following conversation? "Honey, I need you to pick up the kids from school today," says Mom.
Hi friends, thank you for joining us. My name is Ryan.
And my name is Kayla, and today we're talking about manners. Now, probably something you don't like talking about, but let me promise you, it's important.
That's right, friends. We want to learn how to polish our manners because that can improve relationships.
Well, polishing is the first word of our title, and that's actually our first vocabulary word. Now, to polish something, usually you think of cleaning something. Maybe you polish a window so it's really clean and you can see through it. But here we're talking about polishing something you do, and that means you're making it better. Maybe making it cleaner or better, to improve or to perfect it. Really, polishing is more than improving. It's more about perfecting them.
Yeah, exactly. Making it as good as it possibly can be. And friends, this is extremely important for your relationships, as I'm sure many of you, and me included, know.
Okay, well, if you can polish your manners, you can then improve your relationships. Do you think this is true?
Oh, absolutely. It never hurts to be polite at home or in public.
Okay, this phrase, "it never hurts to." Now, sometimes you might feel like it hurts to be nice even when you don't want to be, but this means it doesn't ruin anything. It's better for everyone if you are polite. So, take time to be polite. Ryan, are you a polite and well-mannered person?
Well, I'd like to think so. Not all the time, obviously. But, friends, if you have any trouble in any of your relationships, if there's anyone that you think you don't like or doesn't like you, then maybe you should be the one to take the first step and polish your manners first. I know I've had to do this.
I know, I hate that part. It's really difficult, especially being nice to someone you just don't want to be around.
Yeah, did you know that most tension in any relationship is actually caused by someone using a negative tone of voice?
No, but I think it makes sense to me. Now, tension in a relationship, tension is a feeling of anger or frustration or fear between two groups of people that used to trust each other. So maybe if you are really good friends you have a really good friend from school and there's tension in their relationship, that means you're angry at them for something even though you've been friends for a while. So you don't like tension in any relationship.
Yeah, and that can be caused many times by a negative tone of voice. So the way that you're speaking sounds negative or bad.
Now, tone of voice refers to not what you're saying, but how you're saying it.
Exactly. Now, in most cases, friends, a tense conversation can cause friction with in-laws or coworkers indefinitely.
Now, friction refers to two different things being rubbed together. So in this situation, since it's friction in a relationship, it's talking about a disagreement or unfriendliness between two groups of people. So I think quite often people think you do have friction with in-laws because you're from two different places.
Yeah, so you might not be getting along very well, and that can cause trouble indefinitely. Now, the word indefinitely means it will continue until something else changes.
But good manners work magic in a completely different way. Now, that's our Grammar on the Go sentence, so let's visit Liz.
Hi there, friends. Welcome to Grammar on the Go. My name is Liz. We're talking about manners in today's article, and the writer says, good manners work magic in a different way. That's our grammar tip sentence for today, and our focus is on the phrase, to work magic. Please do not confuse this with to do magic. That's what magicians do, like magicians do magic tricks. But in the case of today's sentence, to work magic means to make a situation improve. So today's sentence just means that good manners can make a bad situation turn into a good one. And because the change from bad to good is so amazing, it's like magic. Okay, let's have a look at some example sentences. Let's say you know a certain housekeeper who is really good at cleaning. So you can say, the housekeeper is so good at cleaning things up. She can work magic on any messy room. Or maybe an advertisement for a stain remover might say, this stain remover works magic. It can remove all kinds of stain. If you have a copy of this month's magazine with you, be sure to check out today's grammar tips section for more example sentences. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks again for joining me here. This is Liz with Grammar on the Go, signing off. Bye-bye.
So good manners really are important in your relationships. Behaving nicely can include things such as speaking thoughtfully and using a pleasing voice tone that denotes respect.
That's right. Now, we keep talking about tone of voice, and this is something that's really important. We try to have a nice, friendly, and respectful tone of voice to denote respect. Now, to denote something means to represent something. So probably introducing yourself saying, "Hi, my name is Kayla," is a nice, respectful, and kind way. But if I said, "Hi, I'm Kayla," that's not a very nice tone of voice.
Exactly. That represents kind of a bad attitude and no respect. Now, married people, friends, if you are married, you know how hurtful behavior erodes a relationship.
Now, to erode means to slowly destroy or to reduce. Often we use this to describe maybe a hill. If it rains too much, it will erode. It washes away. It gets destroyed. Here, your relationship can be destroyed by being hurtful to one another.
For example, friends, after the break, we'll finish a conversation here that you might be able to identify with. It starts, "Honey, I need you to pick up the kids from school today," says Mom.
Okay, we're going to find out what Dad says right after we visit the chat room.
Okay, I was just asking. Calm down. I didn't think I was being unreasonable. Why are you getting so upset? Fine. Bye.
Hey, Brian, what's wrong? You sounded so upset.
I just asked a friend if I could borrow his lawnmower this weekend because mine broke, but he wouldn't even consider it.
Well, he must have a reason for not lending it to you. Maybe he needs it this weekend.
I know. I'm not upset that he said no. It was his tone of voice that bothered me.
His tone of voice? What's that?
Tone of voice means the way a person says something, how loud their voice is, and what it sounds like. For example, my friend could have said, "No, sorry, I need my lawnmower that day." But instead, he said, "No, I can't do it."
Okay, I hear the difference. The way someone says the words can make it sound like they're either happy or angry.
Exactly. Your tone of voice communicates what you're feeling, which has a big effect on how people understand you. And if it shows that you're being sarcastic, it can completely change the meaning of a sentence.
Oh yeah, sarcasm is when you say the opposite of what you mean, right?
Yes. And people usually use a certain tone of voice to signal that they're being sarcastic. For example, if someone says, "Oh, that was smart," they actually mean it was dumb.
Okay, that could be confusing. Hey, by the way, is there another word for tone of voice?
Not really. We do sometimes shorten the phrase to just tone. For example, I might say a mother used a gentle tone when she spoke to her kids.
I see. Do I ever use the wrong tone when I'm speaking English?
Not that I've noticed, Ken. You're usually very polite.
Good. 什么是 tone of voice? Tone 是音调 ，voice 是声音。Tone of voice 字面上是声音的音调，指的就是讲话的语气、口气。今天的课文一开始就问 Did you know that most tension in any relationship is caused by someone using a negative tone of voice? 任何关系变得很紧绷的时候，都是因为 a negative tone of voice 语气不佳。尤其当我们讲话带着 sarcasm 挖苦、讽刺的语气。那什么叫做 sarcasm？ 如果有人说 "Oh, that was smart"， 你应该听得出他其实并不是在称赞你，而是在挖苦你，说你很不聪明。好，我们下次图书馆见。
Welcome back, everybody. Have you ever heard this phrase? A kind word turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. That saying is as true today as when it was written 3,000 years ago. When you understand that your choice of words, the tone of your voice, and your body language have power to create peace or conflict, to build someone up or tear someone down, then you're really on your way to improving your relationships. Okay, let's continue to see what happens when good manners are a part of our communication on line 15.
Polishing your manners can improve relationships. No way. I told you I'm staying late at work all week, Dad retorts. The boss is breathing down my neck. What do you expect me to do? Clone myself? Using manners would ratchet up this conversation to a different level of respect if it went something along these lines. Honey, I need you to pick up the kids from school today, says Mom. I would like to, Dad assures her. But don't you remember that I have to stay late at work all this week?
Friends, we are currently giving you an example that you might be able to identify with that shows you how hurtful behavior can actually erode a relationship.
That's right. We're going to look at a conversation, and it starts with Mom saying, "Honey, I need you to pick up the kids from school today." And it just says Mom, which means it's said pretty normally. How did Dad respond?
Dad says, "No way. I told you. I'm staying late at work all week." That's how he retorts.
Okay, so Ryan said this very in a retorting way. Can you finish this, what Dad says, with the same tone of voice?
Okay, and then we'll define retorts.
Yes.
Okay, and he continues saying, the boss is breathing down my neck. What do you expect me to do? Clone myself?
And that is what a retort would sound like. Good job, Ryan.
Thanks.
Okay, so a retort. Let's go define that word. To retort means to answer someone in a quick and very angry way. So sometimes if your parents ask you, have you finished your homework? You would retort, of course I finished my homework.
Exactly. Usually retorts are used when people are arguing with each other. And of course, people usually only argue when they're not getting along.
And a retort is never a good thing. You don't want to retort anyone. It's mean, and you don't want to be retorted because then you just feel hurt.
Now, Kayla, the dad said that the boss is breathing down his neck. What does that phrase mean?
Well, when someone is breathing down your neck, that does not actually mean that they are standing behind you, breathing air on the back of your neck. Instead, it means they need something from you quickly and are really, really, really pressuring you to do it fast. It's as if they're standing behind you waiting for you to finish. And especially at work, this can cause a lot of stress.
Exactly. So the dad is stressed, and so he's speaking with a very negative tone, and he tells the mother, what do you expect me to do? Clone myself?
Now, I think a lot of us would probably be guilty of thinking or saying this at some point when we feel like so many different people want us to do so many different things, we don't feel like we're enough. And that's because, cloning, it means to make a copy of yourself, to make an identical copy. So, Ryan, can you help us explain when people want a lot from you, why would you say, do you want me to clone myself?
Well, because the father here, in this case, thinks he cannot do everything by himself. So he says, well, maybe you should just make another me to do all those other tasks so I can keep doing what my boss wants.
That's right. But because he's using this statement in a retort, it's actually very mean. So really, let's revisit this conversation and see what using manners can do for us.
Exactly. Using manners would ratchet up this conversation to a different level of respect if it went something along these lines. Now, before we give you the example, we're going to define some of these words.
Okay, to ratchet something up. Now, a ratchet is actually a kind of construction tool that is often used to crank or to turn something, to either tighten it or to make it go higher. So if you're going to ratchet up something, that means you are making it better and taking it to a new level of respect.
Yeah, there's another English idiom, Kayla, that says, let's take it to the next step or take it to the next level. And that's exactly what this means.
That's right. So we're wanting to take our conversation of adding so much more respect that it goes to a new level of respect. So let's revisit this conversation with Mom. Honey, I need you to pick up the kids from school today, says Mom.
Okay, it's the same thing. And then Dad says, I would like to, as he assures her, but don't you remember that I have to stay late at work all week?
This is completely different. We see that Dad assures her. What does it mean to assure someone?
If you assure someone, that means that you tell someone confidently that something is true.
Okay, so, and it's especially to help them not worry. Not just that, hey, it's true. It's to comfort them. Maybe you would assure a child that they are safe in their bed at night. So Dad is assuring Mom this is being polite and respecting her concerns and her needs while still letting her know that he's stuck at the office late and can't help her.
Right. He says, I would love to help you. Don't worry about that. But I already promised I'd be at work. Now, this is much more polite, and we'll continue to explain how you can be more polite in your relationships. But right now, let's watch the skit.
Our relationship has tension.
Yes, and it's caused by someone using a negative tone of voice.
You! No, you!
No, you!
All I said was, honey, I need you to pick up the kids from school today.
And I said, no way. I told you I'm staying late at work all week.
And then you retorted, the boss is breathing down my neck. Do you expect me to clone myself?
Well, do you?
No, but I expect you to have good manners.
Good manners.
They work magic.
Good manners?
Yes.
Like what?
Well, you should behave nicely, speak thoughtfully, and use a pleasing voice, one that denotes respect.
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry. Can we try it again?
Sure. Honey, I need you to pick up the kids from school today.
Oh, I would really, really love to, but don't you remember, sweetheart? I have to stay late at work all this week. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'll pick up the kids. You work so hard. You're a wonderful husband.
And you're a wonderful wife.
Oh, honey, you have such good manners.
Yes, I know.
Hi everyone, I'm Michelle。这篇文章的第一个重点，我们来看 denote 这个动词。denote 是指表示或代表，例如 The knight's bow denoted his submission to the king。这位骑士的敬礼表示他对国王的服从，或者是 The boy's frown denoted that he didn't understand my explanation。这个孩子的皱眉表示他听不懂我的解说。denote 也指作为某个事物的符号或象征，例如 The letter T denoted time required in my report。在我的报告中，字母 T 代表所需时间。继续我们看的是 erode 这个动词。erode 本来是指侵蚀或磨损，但是在这里是指耗损或者是降低。例如 The paint on the car was eroded。这台车子的油漆掉漆了。或者是 Larry's passion for football was slowly eroded because of his injuries。由于受伤的缘故 ，Larry 对足球的热情逐渐失去了。或者是 People's support for the president is gradually eroding。人们对于总统的支持渐渐的降低。最后我们看的是 retort 这个动词 ，re 这个字首有回去的意思，所以 retort 是指反驳或回嘴。例如 Eileen retorted her mother in public。阿琳在公开场合跟母亲顶嘴。retort 后面也可以加上 that 子句，说明反驳的内容。例如 The thief retorted that he was completely innocent。这个小偷辩驳说他是完全无辜的。And I guess that's all the time we have for today. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
You know, manners aren't something that we inherit automatically from our parents. They need to be learned. Behavior experts say by the time kids reach 9 years old, they should have most of the basic manners in place. For example, they should know cover your mouth when you sneeze, say please and thank you, and when you walk through a door, look to see if you can hold it for someone behind you. Friends, tomorrow we'll continue looking at how polishing your manners can improve your relationships and more. Until then, speak some English and be polite. Have a great day.
So friends, be sure to listen, tune in, never miss a lesson. Give it a try. Studio Classroom Worldwide. At Studio Classroom, you'll find a way to broaden your mind. This class is perfect for me and my vocabulary. Make a friend for life. Make us your friend for life. At Studio Classroom Worldwide. Your friend for life. Make a friend for life. Make us your friend for life. At Studio Classroom Worldwide. Studio Classroom Worldwide.